It's been a trying couple of days within our aviation industry as we've had news regarding the Boeing 787 with deliveries once more unfortunately suspended on that front, and comments from executives within Qantas that their frustrations are growing over not just the 787 but also issues at their major airport hubs. Today we move over to Airbus and their A321XLR with some more positive news on their journey to certification for the aircraft. Despite incurring what can only be described as a delay initially, Airbus's newest member of the A321 family, the A321XLR, XLR standing for extra long range, a couple of days ago returned home to Toulouse after a week in Canada, where it completed crucial tests, notably them being cold weather tests, which are being conducted in line with development plans that will eventually lead to hopefully the aircraft being certified and cleared to fly with passengers. Airbus initially expected the A321XLR to begin flying with passengers on board this year, that being 2023. However, that has been pushed back towards 2024 at this stage, following issues found with the additional fuel tank and the potential fire risk. Airbus needs to go about making those changes to get the plane certified. The cold weather testing is something that is absolutely essential to the ticking off of this aircraft, and it took place in a remote region of Canada on Baffin Island. It is the perfect location for cold weather testing to take place. Airbus performed several trials during the week-long period. This included ground and also flight tests. At the same time, while the A321XLR may not always fly in such conditions, the aircraft must be certified for such missions if a future operator deploys the plane to a colder climate. It is the same for warm weather testing that also takes place in a certification program. Over at Boeing and with their very own 777X, we've seen a very similar take place with cold weather and warm weather testing. One of the more critical tests for Airbus, and probably one of the more boring, was to actually identify and complete if there were any problems and how responsive the systems were following an extended period of those very systems being offline in the cold weather. As I'm sure you're aware, even for us as humans, a prolonged period inside during the cold weather and then stepping outside can have an effect on us. Flight test engineers and a whole lot more needed to ensure that there were no negative repercussions to keeping the plane on the ground in the cold. The aircraft, as mentioned, has returned to France, and now Airbus will continue its certification program. They're moving towards an estimated second quarter 2024 entry into service, but I personally think it's very much worth mentioning that this is subject to change. If one thing we've been taught in recent years regarding certification programs is to take them with a grain of salt. While companies will no doubt have goals and publicize them and surely be targeting these goals, it doesn't necessarily guarantee they will meet them, and we've seen this now on numerous occasions proven to be correct. If you have any thoughts on the XLR, you can let me know down below in the comments. Apologies for the later video here on the channel. As mentioned a couple of days ago, life has definitely been a little bit messy and busy for me of late, so while this is my full-time position and I do the utmost to release content, sometimes there just isn't enough time, and I appreciate your patience and continued support nevertheless. Take care, be safe, and I will see you next time.